This week's Safety Toolbox Talk, we're going to discuss excavations and the hazards associated with excavations. Anytime that we're in a hole, whether it's here alongside this foundation wall or even out here on the back side of this backhoe, we've got a pier dug right there 4 feet deep. The magic number is 5 feet. Anytime an excavation goes deeper than 5 feet, that subterrane can collapse on an individual, striking him. Remember, the human body, we're 65% water, crushing him and killing him. Excavations are the fourth leading killer in the construction industry. There's so many hazards associated with it. Now, we train excavations in Module 4 of our OSHA 30 hour, trying to recognize all the numbers that they call for. First of all, if it's deeper than 5 feet, we need to slope it, we need to bench it, or we need to use a shoring device, such as a trench shield, something of that nature. There are 3 different types of safety soil numbers in regard to excavations. There's cohesive soils like blue clay that are considered to be cohesive and strong, whereas Class C is granular relative to almost what we're seeing at the top of the excavation, besides the cohesiveness that we're seeing here. So depending on the soils would depend on the protective measures put into place for these projects. We need to do a locate. Anytime that we're doing an excavation on a job site, we need to do a locate 48 hours prior to digging. There's gas lines in here, there's power lines in here, there's all kinds of utilities running in the ground. So that is the responsibility of the excavation contractor to do those utility location measures. Other means of numbers. Anytime that there's an excavation, we don't want spoil piles right along the edge of an excavation. We want them to be at least 2 feet away. If we're putting a trench shield down into the hole, you have to go almost all the way to the bottom of the hole so that the soil doesn't collapse underneath the shield and strike you in the legs. So looking at excavations, they're a little bit different. They're kind of ankle breakers when you look at some of this terrain and getting in and out of these excavations. They actually call for an egress ramp or a ladder to be placed every 25 feet from the tradesman in excavations that are in excess of 4 feet. So lots of rules. If our excavation actually went deeper than 20 feet, we would have to get a registered professional engineer involved to give us an engineered system that would hold back the soils of 20 foot in depth. One of the worst conditions for excavations is precipitation. When it rains, this becomes very weak. She has a tendency to slide right back in, which is creating an unsafe hazard for the tradesman. So this week, talk a little bit about excavations, getting in and out of them, protective systems, whether it's a shield, a slope, or a bench, keeping materials and soils 2 feet away from the leading edge as we're getting into them. Let's have a safe week.